Good evening, good morning, good day to you. This is Dr. E. Michelle Mickens, and I am the CEO of Live for Change. And this is another episode of hashtag Leaders Matter. Listen, I don't know when you're going to check out this video. I am actually uploading it late in the evening, so it's unusual for me. And if I'm looking a little tired, that's the reason why. But I did not want to allow another day to go by without checking on you. Number one, how are you doing? With this coronavirus crisis, it has forced many of us to reevaluate how we do things, right? And that's the culture of how we're living. This virus, this crisis, however you want to identify this thing, it is literally changing how we live. My bishop preached today about how we are experiencing a new normal. And whether this is a temporary or a permanent change, right now, in this moment, things have shifted. And many of us are scattering, trying to figure out how to, first of all, understand what's happening and where we are, praying that we are healthy and will remain healthy, praying for our families, that our families, our friends, the frontliners, right? Those who are out in the trenches still directly involved in the healing and the care of those who may be carriers of this disease, this virus. And I'll be careful, it is a dis-ease because it makes us uneasy. Whether we are dealing with it in a emotional and mental phase, and some who are actually dealing with symptoms. You know, the other day I coughed, and then I went through this sneezing fit, if you will, and immediately I started wondering, did I get it? And there was a part of me that kept saying, you don't have it. I went to the grocery store, I came back home, and that's when I coughed and I sneezed, and I began to question, what's happening. But I understand this. When we're in a crisis, when we're dealing with adversity, when we are dealing with that which is unknown, uncomfortable, who we really are rises to the surface, right? And there are days when I can honestly say I'm doing all right. I'm doing well, actually, because I am an introvert. Being by myself, working by myself, that's not a new thing for me. That's not what I would consider my new normal. As a matter of fact, through this whole crisis, the only real new nuance for me is just the mere fact that I know that there are many people who are challenged in this area. What troubles me is not so much what I may be processing, and I am processing this because I have family that I'm not near. I live about an hour, well, I live close to 2 hours away from my closest family, and so I'm not far away, but I'm not as close as I would like to be in a time like this. But I do know that there are many people who are in various spaces, whether they believe in the Lord Jesus Christ or not, they are dealing with this as best as they can. And so what I've been doing is I've done various blogs, podcasts. I've been asking the question, are you ready? That's one question. And, how do you handle a crisis? Are you resilient? And so what am I talking about? I decided that I would put together some of my leadership tools in one convenient guide so that you would have access to it if you would like. Whether we're talking about blog posts that I've written, dominion within, do you have dominion within? Because one thing that's important from a leadership point of view is how well we lead ourselves. And in a crisis, again, I mentioned before, who we really are rises to the surface. So what's showing up? how are you preparing your team? And before you can adequately prepare them, how are you preparing yourself? What is the self-conversation? What is that self-talk? So I have some articles that I've written. I have some YouTube videos that I've done that really hones in on times like these, who you really are in a crisis, what type of leader you want to be. Are you that transformational leader? Are you that authentic leader? You know, my leadership series is called REAL, Be for Real. REAL is an acronym. It stands for Reliable, Ethical, Authentic Learner. And what better time than now to fine-tune being that real leader that shows up no matter what, who is ready to face fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I'm talking about dealing, dealing with FUDs, right? Dealing with that fear, uncertainty, and doubt syndrome. So I put together these free resources that are available to you. It's a free resource guide. I have a few YouTube videos that I listed. I've also listed some of my podcasts that I believe are beneficial to you. And when you click on the various links, these are clickable links in a PDF file. I'm praying that it will encourage you. I have some planning tools also. Doing a SWOT analysis. Those who follow me have heard me talk about the importance of doing a SWOT analysis periodically. Checking, reevaluating your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And I'm talking about doing a SWOT analysis on you, not just your organization, but on yourself. That's part of that whole self-assessment, self-leadership piece that I've been talking about on a regular basis. So that tool is in this guide. Also, I have another tool that I believe will be beneficial to you. Doing a mindset challenge, meaning identifying what is causing fear. What are your triggers? Because once you can identify it, then you're in a better position to deal with it. Fear will come up, right? We get anxious because we're human. We're going to react often, but my word of encouragement is for you to respond. Take a deep breath before you become reactionary. I want you to just think about whatever it is, whether it's this coronavirus or whether it's something else. Think through the process. Identify what's causing the anxiety, what's causing you to worry. Uncertainty can do that. Doubt, am I able to handle this? How do I handle this and my team? How do we work remotely? You may not have all the answers, but at least you can engage your team and keep the lines of communication open. So some of these resources, they're going to guide you through, how to talk to your team. But mostly the resources that I'm going to share with you, it's going to help you deal with you, right? I see myself as the support for that leader. That's one of the things that we do here at Live for Change. So take advantage of the tools, take advantage of the resources. It's a free resource guide. And if you're interested, sometimes, depending on the day, I can be technologically challenged. So I think that if you're interested, if you're interested in getting this guide, then just send me a DM and I'll make sure to get it out to you. I'm going to make sure also that I put the link, the information in the description bar. So if you want to get more information, please reach out to me. I want to get this into your hands. Whatever we can do, we're in this together. We want to be the best that we can be. We want to be for real, right? Real leaders, real producers, real results. Take care. God bless you, and thank you for your time.